right, we are inside, up and ready to power up. This will be another tutorial. Each tutorial will go through the startup process. So after 3 or 4 of these, you should have the startup process pretty much down pat. So um, console is fairly good because I played last. So um, again, you want to have the stick here. I got the stick laying right above my knee, and I just have to hit the button and to grab it, release it, and my hand is just naturally just resting on my leg. The other hand here is resting on the armrest, but you're not using a lot of throttle, so I can rest it on the armrest when I'm not using the throttle. Need the throttle, just reach over beside the armrest. And actually, I'm scooting my chair over just a tad to the right so that it's not butt up against the armrest here. I have a little distance over there so I can grab it naturally here. So, okay. All right, so we are ready for the startup process. And again, the first 2 buttons here, essential that you do them in this order. The other buttons, you can do any order you want to, kinda. So Um, we'll do the startup since there's not too many other planes. Um, actually, there's 4 on the carrier, and they will all launch as soon as we turn our engines on, and they'll go and fly their pattern that I designed out there in the map. So they'll fly around the island, do a little loop-de-loop, and just keep repeating until they run out of fuel, and then they'll go refuel and do whatever. So, all right. So, um, this tutorial we'll just do a quick um, up in the air, fly around, um, and then we'll probably land. We'll keep it simple, although landing doesn't sound simple, but we'll keep it simple. And then future ones we'll get into the ordnance, which is the weapons. So all right, let's go ahead and start her up. So um, main battery needs to go on first. CPU, APU, sorry, goes on second, and then just go ahead and close the canopy because it cuts down on the noise of the plane, and it just makes it a little bit easier to hear things. So those 3 things, I would say that order: main battery, APU, canopy. APU is already spun up, so engines are ready to start. From here on until we start moving, whatever you feel like choosing to turn on. So for me, what I like to do is I like to go ahead, lift up my caps here, turn on the engines, turn the caps down, get the engine spun up, and then I will go to my top left and work my way around the pads here. So 1 press on, fuel, on, S-cam, and then I always switch it to smooth look. Is kind of cool, but I like the camcorder view. Here's the camcorder view here. So what I do with the camcorder view is I just grab the camera and I just put it somewhere out here so that it's kind of showing me over my shoulder view, and you can tweak it, try to make it as level as possible. There you go. And that's where I like to have it, so I'm going to keep it right there. Next, after that, we move our way around, turn on this panel here, go ahead and hit comms, and we're going to go ahead to the ATC, air traffic control, and we're on Calais Island, so we're going to go ahead and hit that, and we're going to request our takeoff.
Copy. Taxi to runway 22.
Sierra 11, clear to taxi to runway 22. You repeat what they said so they know they hear you. I'm going to go right back to the home screen, nav. There we are in relation to the whatever, and here's the route that we need to go to get to runway 22. So we need to go out here to the right, and there we are. I put the plane here for that reason, so it wasn't a lot of taxiing, but it gives you some idea of what to taxi. So all these screens are set. Last one here, power on that one, and then RWR. We're good to go. Last but not least, turn on your HUD, which is your display here, and then your HMCS and your mirror. So that's the full startup. That's everything going that needs to get going. If you need to adjust the seat, now is the time to do that. Again, you can raise it, lower it, however you see fit. I'd say the best way to judge where it is, not in relation to this here, doesn't have to be with that. Get the seat where you need it to be, and in doing that, you're gonna need to be able to look and see comfortably through this HUD right up here. So you don't want to be looking down at it, you don't want to be looking up at it, you don't want to have to be going, I can't see everything. You should be able to look straight ahead and see the dial at the top with the heading, the no arm, the altitude over here on the right with vert plus 000, a little square box with vertical and horizontal line on it, which is for actually your rudder, we'll say. It's the relationship of if my hand was the plane, if it's turned this way or turned that way, like that. That shows you that it's centered right now. And again, brake lock down the bottom, and then the throttle gauge along with the brake when the brake is applied, right there. And then your angle of attack, your G, your M, your speed, and KT, and the no arm, which is where I started. So as long as you can see all of that within the hood, that's where you want to be. If it's too low, you're not going to be able to see some stuff. And so you want to make sure you can see everything that I just mentioned in that view. If you can't, then you need to adjust this. Okay, now once this is set to where you need it to be, the stick is where it is. You can adjust where this is in relation to these buttons here. So you can hit this button here, it'll bring it in, it'll bring it out, this will bring it over to the right, this will bring it over to the left. So, and then I think these two, yeah, will raise it and lower it. So you can actually hit the lower button to lower it just a little bit more so that it is comfortable. So that's my new set right there. So still my hand is comfortable and it still will grab it and just raise the hand even though I didn't raise my hand to do it. You know, I'm at the bottom of the grip, and as long as it says joystick grip and you grip it, it'll just grab it. No relation to that. So alright, we're ready to start going. We've already been cleared to taxi to runway 22. So remember, when you grab the stick to turn the vehicle, since you can see the pedals down here at the feet, that's how you steer normally in a plane. But since we don't have actual rudder pedals, we steer with this, the stick here, and again it's a turn of the wrist. So you can see the pedals move on the ground, turn of the wrist, turn of the wrist, just like that, and that's how you steer. So alright, we're ready to start moving. Gonna take the brake off here. Plane will start rolling a little bit, not fast, but just a little bit. Go ahead and grab our stick here, grab the throttle, give it a little juice. There we go. Got a little juice going. Off the juice, little brake, more little brake. If you get it to go about 8 over there, 8, 7, 8, you should be pretty good. Start our turn. And there we go. Looking at where you're turning. Line it up, just like driving a car down the road. There you go, we're going straight. There's a plane over there. He's coming to the runway as well. I don't recall putting a plane over there, but I guess we have a plane over there. So, and we're gonna turn to the left. It looks like he's been cleared, so we're just gonna have to wait until he takes off here. They'll have us hold. So this is just like you're flying on Delta. You get to the runway, you just put on his burners. He's taking off. We'll get to watch it from a bird's eye view here. You get to see him go down.
Sierra 1-1, hold short of runway 22.
Sierra 1-1, hold
Sierra
short.
1-1,
Runway
tower,
22.
clear for takeoff at runway 22.
Okay. All right, so he just said to, Sierra 1-1, again, that's a Sierra 1-1, hold short, runway 22. There's runway 22. Hold short just means don't go on the runway. There's somebody coming in, there's somebody going out, hold short, don't go on the runway. And then quickly right behind that, because the plane was taken off, he gave us clearance to go ahead out to the runway. So now we are cleared to go out and take off. So just wanted to point that thing out real quick so we can go. So I put the brake lock on so we'd stop. So brake lock off, grabbing the stick to turn, little juice here. And while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and do our final prep here, which is flaps all the way down. We don't need the launch bar because we're not going off of a carrier, so this is a straight up, flight from an original runway here. So now this is up to you. For your first time, you should do this. Get out here, get close to the center here, line it up. Okay, line it up, that's fairly good. Line it up and then hit the brakes and hold. Okay, for you, this is what you should do. A lot of people can do a rolling, get on the runway and then go. But for your first time, what you want to do is I'm still holding the brake, as you can see here. I didn't let it go. You can see it on the HUD up there, brake. So I came to a complete stop first. Made sure my flaps are down. No launch bars needed, so we're ready to go. So everything's set. Go ahead, full throttle, let go of the brake. See my hand, I let go of the throttle. I don't need it anymore. Make sure you're looking up. I'm starting to veer off to the right. So just holding it nice and steady. And then once we lift off here, pulling back on the stick, back towards your chest, nice and easy, like that. Once you're up, gear up, flaps up, and then on the throttle we're going to take it out of burner. Now we're at that military power and we're airborne, and you want to keep this angle going up here for a little bit. Remember, on the right here on the HUD, 1200, 1300, 1400, we're climbing, so we want to just get some height here. Zoom out of the map here. There we go. Alright, so we're up at 3,000 feet here almost, and I'm gonna bank around to the left. So we're just gonna turn to the left here. You can see I'm just banking the aircraft. Nice little bank. Again, here's your bank angle right here in this little gimbal here. Nice little steady, and once you get the bank you want to pull the stick back towards your chest to actually make the turn go faster. You don't want to do it too fast. As you can see, the G's over there, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. The harder I pull back, the more G's against gravity I'm going. So there we go. And then there's our wingman. He's up and he's with us right now. And there's the other one up there. So we got both of them with us. We're gonna just level off here. Okay, I already see a problem that I need to fix, because that aircraft that's close to us over there and this one that just dropped in over here, they're supposed to be doing their own thing. They're not supposed to be over here following me. So I need to fix that in the thing here. So, but that's an easy fix. I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I told him to fly a pattern, but maybe I forgot to select it on each of the planes. So anyway, that's an easy fix. There's our runway where we took off there in our hangar. And below us here is an aircraft carrier, as you can see. So I put that there so if we want to practice landing on a carrier or taking off from a carrier, we can do that. So we're airborne and just keeping it level. Again, that dark line there with the circle and the left and right, just keeping it level. I got different targets around the islands here. We got nothing selected right now. Again, we just wanted to get up in the air and fly. I'll be fixing these planes doing their own thing. Don't need them on our wing. I was only supposed to have one of them with us. The other ones are supposed to be off doing their own thing. So not sure, again, why they're out here following us. So, okay. Oh, look at him. He's doing little flippity flips. Ain't he cool? All right. Now, what's important is when you're turning. Okay, when you're turning, see the circle with the left and right and the top? Again, that's the relationship of your plane from the back view. You want to keep it level with that horizon, that dark line. That means you're turning and you're staying above level. Notice how it's now below that? Well, that means we're losing altitude. Over there on the altitude, you see it 7,550, 40, 30, 21, 10, 7, 7,400 dropping. That means we're dropping. So you want to stay close to the horizon or at least above it, which means you're climbing. And again, right here in the gimbal here, you can see that we're pretty close to level, and that matches what's in the hood. I pull back on the stick, you see this is above it. That means we're going to be climbing. If you're looking at the old school Dodge here and you see it down in the brown, that means you're descending, and you don't want to descend too much or you just keep losing altitude, you'll just end up in the ground. So, all right, still turning. Here's our radar. There's a couple of planes right here. They're up at 10,000 feet. So they're somewhere up there a little bit. Actually over there, you can see them. There they go over there. Right up there. I think you can see them, right? Yep. It's 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. I think that is bombers, if I'm not mistaken. So we're not doing anything with those yet. And again, I don't have them set to attack or anything. They're just flying out here for you to shoot, basically. So yeah, we'll just, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna fly around the map so you can see the stuff. So that's the bombers. And over here we have some more targets. You can see them in the hood. I don't have anything selected, but we'll just do a flyby. So we'll have different ordnance to take out some of these targets. These first two right here, kind of angling down at them now, going down, descending. We're at 5,000, 4,000 something. Those are 2 cruisers, so we'll have something for them, and we'll be able to take them out. So now I'm breaking off to the right here. You can see them line up here on the hood. On the hood, this is our MDF, and then there's a little bank, so you can see them right there. Those are the 2 cruisers. And then right here, we're going to do something fancy right below us here. Ooh. When you flip up, everything is backwards. So there's 2 aircraft carrier enemy ones, and we have some ordnance for those, and we're going to flip her back over. All right. And then we're going to bank around here. So we got 2 different sets of ships to take out. We got some bombers. We have some fighters. They are behind us further out on the map. And then I believe we have some stuff over here somewhere. Some tanks and some infantry ground troops. Here's some enemy over here on this pad, which is over this direction. So up about 10,000 feet. We're only at 3,000. So they're coming right toward us here. Yep, there they go, right over there. Right over there, you can see them out the canopy up high. So anytime you're calling out things to, let's say, your wingman or whatnot, those are the fighters right there. They're just doing their circle, so they're coming up behind us here. And you may be able to, if we pitch it just right, you may be able to see them in the mirror here. No, they're probably past us now, but if they were behind us, we'd see them in the mirror down there. So here's something on the map right here at the edge here. You can see over here, yeah, I put it right down here on the edge. So I'm gonna bank the plane around here. Gonna do a hard little dive. Now you can see it light up in the HUD up here. And you'll line up just like this and then blow them right out of the sky and then do a pull-up like that so you don't crash into the ground. We got some more things over here in the city. This is where the tanks are. They just popped up on the HUD here. You'll see them right there. We'll have some ordnance to take those out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks right there. You can take them out with different ordnance. You know, we can take them out with the guns or some missiles, some rockets. You know, sky's the limit with the ordnance. So we just did a circle around the island there. That's a quick circle. So what I'm going to do now is bring up the comms, and I'm going to go to the wingman and I'm going to say flight, and I'm going to tell them to I'm going to do this first. I'm going to break out to the right here. So I want them out of my way. So I'm going to break around to the right here, and then I'm going to tell them to I'm going to kick this in the afterburner, and we're going to climb. We're at 3,500, 39, 4,000, 4,500. It's a pretty steep dive, but when you do that, you need to have the burner on so you don't stall. So 6,000, 7,000, we're good. I'm going to have them orbit here.
Roger that.
So they're going to orbit here. So they're going to do a little circle around here. These other two jokers are still on me like glue. So that's fine. So I'm going to do that. Go back to comms, ATC, Callis Island. We're going to request a landing.
Sierra 1-1 tower, copy. Flight heading 345. You can expect runway 04.
All right, 345. So Sierra 11 heading 345. So Sierra 11 is us heading 345. So we're at a heading of 136. And so we're going to turn to 345. So going to just take the throttle back. Actually going to turn the throttle all the way off. You see our speed over there, 500 and some knots. That's pretty fast. So we need to slow down for a landing. So going to bank the aircraft around nice and slow to the right. Again, keeping the plane up above the horizon. You don't want it to dip below too much. We're at 13,000 feet, so we're up pretty high. Now down here we have heading 03019. So he said, oops, of course. He said the thing was 345. And this is advanced. So we can turn that to 345 and it will help line us up with the runway. That's very, very, very advanced, but I'm showing it to you. And then you can see our bell shape right in there. That's telling us which way we need to go. So we're going to hit home. We're done with that. Navigation, there's our green line to give us our heading 345 that we need. Now we're down speed 204, 205. We need to give a little bit of juice because at 170, 160, 150, pretty critical, you start falling out of the air, and we don't want to do that. So, all right, we're gonna head this way here. So as you can see, the runway is off over there on the side of the island. Didn't take us too long to get on the side here. So hand on the throttle, you'll see the brake come up. I'm gonna hit the brake, and you can see you can hear. And so behind us, the speed brake is on, and it's basically just a little flap that comes up behind the canopy to help slow the aircraft down. And now the brake is off. So we're down to 300 airspeed. And you can see this arrow's kind of pointing us towards the runway 345. and that's telling us it's about 16.5, 16 nautical miles. This matches up with that. That's how far away the runway is. So we're about 8,000 here, descending. Landing on the ground a lot easier than landing on the carrier. I will say that. More forgiving. You can see the two dots out there. That's the guys I told to orbit. They're just circling over there, which is what I would like these two jokers to be doing, but they're following me still, so I need to go in and touch that up. We're at 325 airspeeds, 324, still going fast, dropping the brake, dropping the throttle all the way down. Anytime you're descending, you usually gain speed. So anytime you're doing a quick turn or something like that, you just have to be aware of that airspeed. It's very crucial, as well as the altitude, obviously, but you can look out and know if it's getting too low. So, okay. All right, now's a good time to do flaps position 1. Don't need the full flaps yet. Flaps help slow the plane down a little bit, give you a little bit of lift. Okay, now we're going to start banking to the right here a little bit. You can see the runway right out there. We're going to start lining up with it here shortly. It's 12 miles out, 12 nautical miles, 12 nautical miles. All right, that airspeed is 196, 194. A little bit of juice here. And again, we're going to start banking here to the right a little bit. And now's a good time to go ahead and full flaps. And the flaps just help give you lift on the plane when you're going slower speeds. So that's why it's crucial that flaps are used for takeoff and for landing. So there's the runway there. We're almost close to lining up. You can see it straight ahead of you over here. So I'm bringing her around. There it is in our HUD, 9 nautical miles. There it is, lining her up here. And lining it up, you want to use that little circle from the back perspective of your plane. So we're trying to put that right around where the runway is. There we go. So we're lined up with that. Pretty close. You just need to have it close. You can fine tune it as you get there. We're at 1,800 feet and descending nice and slow.
Landing gear.
It's telling us to do landing gear, so
Landing gear.
go ahead and check down your landing gear. Once you reach a certain speed, it kind of knows like, hey, you're going slow, you must be trying to land. Landing gear, landing gear. Now, this is important for landing on the carrier. You'll see this little green carrot.
Sierra 1-1, tower. The landing pattern is full. Wait for clearance.
Oh, gosh.
Sierra 1-1, tower. Cleared to land at runway 04.
Okay. He said it wasn't clear, and then he turned around and said it was clear. So this over here is called the ball, this little section here. So you see the green arrows? Green arrow means that you are slow. And so you need to go a little bit faster. You need to be right in the groove when you're landing on the carrier. And in the groove is having just the yellow circle there. So I'm gonna just pull up the nose here so you can kind of see it, hopefully.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yeah, the gear is down. Okay, we'll save that one for another day. Need to give it some juice because we're down to 170, which is almost ready to stall. There you go. See this yellow? That means we're perfect for landing. That's where you want it to be. It's not always that way for me when I land. because sometimes I come in. All right, the red means you're too fast. So dropping the throttle, hitting the brakes. Now we're good. And the yellow. So slowly pitching it up. Little slow, little speed. And then pull the nose up. Lift the nose. Put the throttle down. There we go. Nose is down. Let go of that. Come over here. I usually just hit the brake lock. That slows us down really quick. And then I take the brake lock off, and then I go back to the throttle and hit the brakes.
Welcome back. Follow the taxi path to your parking area.
Welcome back. So you can do your flaps up. Bring the throttle all the way down. And if you need to know where you're going, you can zoom in. Here's where it's telling you to taxi to. The hangar, you can see it in the HUD there. And when you're taxiing, you want to keep the speed down, kind of like when we went, 7, 8. I'm at 17, which is a little fast. Okay, and this is where we're going to be turning here. I didn't turn where it told me because I didn't want to take that weird turn. So I'm going to turn here, and again, you're using just your wrist to turn. Little tap on the brake there. I'm down to 10. Little tap down to 9. Okay, good to go. Center up here. And again, here we are in relation. We're going to go up here, make a left, and it's got us parking in a different hangar this time, but that's okay. And the other two aircraft, they're just out there flying around whatever now, because once you land, they don't crash into the ground with you. So hand on the throttle here, getting ready to make a turn, so I'm going to make sure I'm going nice and slow. If you're going too fast, it'll start making the skid noises. And nice little turn with the wrist. Line it up. And then keep it straight. Little gas. Off the throttle. Let go of the throttle there. And everything is good here. This is second tutorial. So we went over starting up the plane again, taking off, a couple of basic air maneuvers as far as excuse me, what to look for as far as in relation of making a turn, a safe turn, keeping your wits about you, staying level, descending and ascending. Alright, gonna start to make our turn here. Little turn of the wrist, little turn of the wrist. And start to straighten it out. And straighten it out. And you can see the 0.05 ahead of us off of the throttle here. We are in the hangar here in just a second. Hand on the throttle. We got it lined up. I'm hand off of the stick here. Brakes.
Ground crew is on station.
And we're rolling. Still a little bit rolling, a little bit rolling. And we should be clear and in the hangar. And we are going to hit the brakes and brake lock. Hand off all switches. We're good to go. So now what you can do is, if you want to turn off everything, you can. Why waste the time? Otherwise, you can just hit home here, game, and then exit. And that's it.